Today, Dick's Sporting Goods made an announcement of changes. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I am so proud and happy to hear that news. No more assault weapons, no more high-capacity bullets. Nobody under 21 can buy a gun. This, to me, is what America is all about.
Okay, about 1 minute from now, the bell will ring for classes to resume here for the first time in 2 weeks at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. This as students are streaming back in. They're all returning to their classes after the massacre here 2 weeks ago. One of those lost was Jamie Guttenberg. Her brother now must return to school today. You'll all remember Fred Guttenberg. He's Jamie's father. He joins us now, and you'll remember him from the CNN town hall because you were the person who confronted. Good morning. Thank you so much, Fred, for being here. And you were the person who confronted Marco Rubio at the town hall. What has happened in the past 2 weeks that you've seen change?
Little. The Florida legislature met this week.
They seem to be doing things.
They took some minimally acceptable first steps. Very minimally acceptable. There's a lot more to do. So hopefully they can get together and put together a bill that the governor will sign. You know, at least it'll change the age, the 3-day period. There was almost a little poison pill thrown in there with this whole Marshall Plan effort to arm the teachers.
They're trying to get money for 10 teachers at every school to be trained and armed.
And I've made my feelings on that as a solution known. I think that is such a diversionary poison pill in this effort. It is an unproven way to go. Knowing what happened in the school, I've spent more time talking to the kids who lived through the shooting than most of the folks up in Tallahassee who are trying to figure out what to do about it. Yeah. They'll tell you it would have been a terrible idea because you had no way to know who was being shot at. And the teachers, they wouldn't have the level of arms that this shooter did. It's a terrible idea.
How are you feeling as you watch your son walk back into this school today?
Well, I'm not scared because this is now the safest school in America. But bittersweet. My son walks in here without his sister. My daughter's friends walk in there. They used to always walk in with my daughter, and I just saw them all before and hugged them, and they're walking in there without her. This is not what we envisioned for ourselves watching our kids go through high school. And bittersweet is the only way I can describe it.
Today, Dick's Sporting Goods made an announcement of changes. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I am so proud and happy to hear that news. No more assault weapons, no more high-capacity bullets. Nobody under 21 can buy a gun. This, to me, is what America is all about. It is people taking steps in the face of a crisis. What it also tells me is this event was different, and people are not going to stand still, and they're not going to go away. Listen, I have been relentless online going after Amazon and Apple because they will not end their business relationship with the NRA and specifically Amazon selling these weapons still. And I have dropped my Amazon membership, and everyone I know has dropped theirs, and online they've continued to do so. The flip side of that is I will be going to Dick's Sporting Goods today to buy something because you know what? I am so proud of them and so happy that they are taking a voluntary step to make our kids safer, to make all of us safer in any public facility. And I couldn't be happier. Thank you and congratulations. What a step.
Look, you've been very vocal. You have been very activated since this happened. You're not going to let your daughter have died in vain, but it obviously comes with a huge cost. What has it been like for you?
I'm exhausted, and I say that only because I went right into this process. It so angered me what happened that I immediately kind of turned into an activist. I mean, 13 days ago, I was just this guy from this amazing neighborhood here in Parkland. And now I can't stop what I'm doing because I don't ever want another parent to go through this. Anybody who says I come to this with an agenda anything but. My only agenda is what can we do to make our kids, our families safer. That's it. It's exhausting. It's emotional. I watch these heroic kids do what they're doing to take on this lobby and to just demand their safety. And that gives me strength, but it's been a rough couple of weeks.
Of course it has. And we know that your son and your wife, of course, are also still struggling. How's he feeling as he goes in today?
He's bittersweet, but he's got this amazing group of friends who have had their arms wrapped around him for the past 2 weeks. And they're going to continue to do so. And they've really held him up, and I love those kids. They're amazing.
It's beautiful.
Can I address something that is happening?
Very quickly.
There's been threats against some of these kids.
Yes.
And their families.
Yes, online threats and beyond. Go on.
I'm hoping the president today, who a lot of folks want to talk about this as situational violence and threats that were ignored leading to it. So we can't ignore what's going on. And I need our President Trump today to address it publicly and demand that everyone who's making these threats stop. But I also am hoping that right now, as we do this interview, the FBI and Broward sheriffs and all the other investigative agencies out there are investigating these threats and are initiating arrests. This community has been through trauma.
Yes.
We can't have additional trauma in this community. And since we know the situational aspect of this is part of it,
yeah,
we need to get something done. We can't have that going on.
Such a great point. Don't let threats go unheeded anymore.
We know they're out there.
Fred,
investigate.
Thank you.
And Trump make an announcement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. We'll be following everything for
My
the
pleasure.
weeks to come. All right, back to you, Chris.
All right, you just heard Allison mention a big change for Dick's Sporting Goods. Are others going to follow suit by banning assault-style rifles? We have details next.